Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. I'm Jenny and I used to live in Paris, France for about 8 months and I have a horrifying story to tell you. So stick around and listen to it because it was very traumatizing. Where does it begin? It all started in the 18th arrondissement of Paris, Montmartre. So when I was there, I had gone by myself, and this entire day, this entire story I'm telling happened when I was by myself. So I was in Montmartre, and it is the art district of Paris. So there's a little square like plaza, Place du Théâtre, and in there they have a bunch of artists, and they can draw you with like pencil, they can draw you with oil pastels, they can paint you, and it's also they can paint like architecture, etc. The point is, I went there because I wanted to get like a little portrait, and I was super excited about it, so I finally found somebody who was willing to do me, and they did me in oil pastels, and it came out beautiful. I'll insert a picture so you can see it. The artist, he was super excited to paint me because he was like, I haven't had somebody as beautiful as you in so long. So that was quite the compliment. That was very sweet of him. And alright, so everything was just dandy. I was super happy, and after this I took my painting home, my oil pastel, I'll just call it a painting, my art, and it came in this tube right here. For reference, it's pretty big, pretty hard to miss. So yeah, I had my little art to take home, and I was walking all the way from Montmartre south to a district called Opéra. This is where the Paris Opera House is. It is gorgeous, and it's a very easy walk, honestly, just straightforward. And I was going because they have my favorite green tea, like matcha ice cream there. So I went and I got that, phenomenal, and I think they were actually about to close whenever I went. So there were like 10 minutes left. So I went, I quickly ordered my things, and while I was waiting, I sat down and I, set down my painting right next to me, and suddenly I got a call from my brother, who was in the US. Meanwhile, I was in France. So I answered the phone call, and I was just talking to him about some things about life, and the conversation got pretty deep, needless to say. So my mind was just very concentrated on this conversation with my brother about life and its wonders. And eventually the person serving the ice cream called my order. They gave me my ice cream. I went ahead and left. I thanked them a lot for being the second to last customer. Once I left the ice cream place, I was starting to head home, and I hung up the phone and all that, and I got on my train. And once I was on my train, I was just sitting there listening to music on my AirPods, vibing, chilling, and suddenly I get a call from my mom. And keep in mind, I had a very long distance to go from Paris downtown to my house. It was about half an hour. So halfway through that ride, 15 minutes in, I get a phone call from my mom. And she was at a restaurant with my brother, my other brother, and she was asking me some question. And then I just told her the answer, and then I said, oh, by the way, I literally just got painted. I just got an oil pastel drawing of myself, and it looks so freaking cool. And as I said that, I looked over to my left, to my right, below me, in front of me, everywhere. This was gone. This painting that I just paid like 100 euros, maybe even a little bit more for, was gone. It was not anywhere near me, and the metro was empty. There was nobody in there in that train, and I freaked out and I panicked, and I was like, how could I have lost this thing, this beautiful art? It's so expensive, and I just went and lost it. It wouldn't be the first time I lost an expensive item. I tend to do that, and I'm not made of money, so I cannot keep replacing these items. So I panicked, and once we got to the next train stop, I got off the train, and I don't know why I did that. I just got down and I was panicking, looking around, and I was like, what can I do? What should I do? Should I call? Should I go back? And it's going to be another 15 minutes, but they already closed, so what would be the point in going back? I was just running through all these thoughts, trying to come up with a solution for this situation, but there was not a solution to be found. So I ended up getting back on the train. I was very, very sad. I think I almost cried, and I just headed back home. So I finally got to my stop that was gonna leave me at my house. So I got down there, I had my little walk of shame back to my home, and this is where the scary part of the story starts. Prepare yourself. I know, I was not prepared for it. Okay, so before I give the story, let's give you some context, okay? So when I lived in Paris, I lived in this big house and it was a French family's home, and I was there staying in the first floor because it was a 2-story home. So the front door is a big glass door, and it kind of has like that frosting, like it's that kind of glass that you can't see through. You could just see if there was like a figure behind it, you could see their silhouette, but that's it. So this door is like that, okay? And then behind the door there's a little hallway, and then there's a giant staircase kind of thing, and then there's like a light above that staircase, and it takes you to the top of the house, the second floor. So that's the context you need. Also, the family that I lived with was not at home. They were not home for a whole week because they had left to Japan. So keep that in mind. I was home alone. The family was in Japan. I walk over to my house. It is the middle of the night practically. It's almost 10 p.m. or something like that, and it was completely dark. There was just a little bit of lights out, and once I got home, I walked up, I opened the little front gate, and I got through, walked through the garden, and then I got to the front door. And instinctively, I took my key out and I started going for the door to open it. But I stopped because there's something that is completely off, completely different from what it should be. And that's that the light above the staircase was on. So I didn't know how to react. I got frightened, and I thought to myself, that light should not be on. The family's not here, and I know for a fact that I did not leave that light on because I never turn it on. And I left like at maybe noon that day, so I didn't have a need to use that light because all the sunlight was coming in. I went ahead and opened the door because I had no other option. I could have called the cops, but to say what? Like, there's a light on inside and I swear I didn't turn it on. So I just did what I could. I don't know. What would you have done? But I just opened it. I opened the door, I went inside, and my heart was beating so fast. I was in a huge panic. I was mortified because I thought that somebody came in here somehow, and that my mind was just going everywhere. It was going 100 miles a minute. So what happens next? I ended up entering the house, and my room was directly on the left, on the first floor. And then to the right, there was a huge room that was just kind of like the office space and just extra room in there. So, and there was another room, there's a garage. Like, it's a house with many rooms, okay? So I didn't know what to check first, but I thought to myself, I'll check the second floor first. So I started going up the staircase, and I swear to you, I was so scared. I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know if somebody was hiding up there. I didn't know what would come out from all these rooms in the house. So I just went upstairs and I took my chances. I started to clear every single room because I wanted to make sure that there was absolutely nobody in the rooms. So and keep in mind, I never went into the rooms up there because they're the family's room. I wasn't super familiar with the area, just like the bathroom up there and the kitchen and living room. So I started checking around everything, and I would shine my light, and I was just kind of like slowly looking from room to room. The living room, no one was there. Kitchen, no, but nobody was there. Next, I went to the bathroom, and then I went to each individual room down the hall. Nobody was there. At one point, though, I opened one door because I didn't know what that was, if it was a room or a closet, and I opened it, and there was something that came out at me, and it hit my face a little bit, and I like screamed a little bit. I shrieked, but then I realized it was a shirt on a hanger, so there was no need to be scared. And I was in a panic, but it was just a t-shirt, so it's fine. I closed that door, and I proceeded to go downstairs and check the areas there. So I checked every room. There was nothing there, and it was all clear. There was nothing out of place. There was nothing that looked broken or broken into. Everything was fine. So seeing that was reassuring, but also the fact that that light was on was not reassuring, and I felt very, very panicked still, and just not good. because I was home alone in a foreign country where I don't have somebody who can help me just, you know, right at my disposal. Finally, whenever everything was cleared according to me, I went back into my room, and my room door did not have a lock at all. So I ended up just putting all my suitcases in front of that door, and that was my lock. I know, I didn't have anything else that I could use. And I was about to actually return, like move back to the US, so I had my 50-pound suitcases, so they weren't empty. And my thought was, okay, I'm going to leave a little weapon at each checkpoint leading up to where I'm laying down in the bed. That way, if at any point I need to use something and someone is breaking in, I can use that. And I didn't have any like weapon-like things, and I was not about to go upstairs again because I was just so frightened. And I just used like a tequila bottle that I had, a pair of scissors, and like I think maybe like a hair product or something. Hey, it's better than nothing, okay? And yeah, I just went to bed super duper scared. I was just laying there for an hour like in panic, and I was waiting for somebody to like make a wrong movement upstairs and drop something or anything. Nothing happened. But in the morning when I woke up terrified. I woke up and my eyes, like as if I was in a movie. I just woke up and my eyes went like this, and I looked around expecting to see somebody there or expecting to be in another room, but I was just in my own room. I was fine. Thank God. I was fine. But something very creepy, I did hear something upstairs when I first woke up. Like, it sounded as if somebody dropped something or they moved like some little thing. I swear I heard it. I literally heard it. But that's it. That was the only sound I heard, and I was still home alone. Needless to say, I ended up telling the family, hey, I'm really scared, like, I think somebody might have come in here. I'm not sure why the light was on. And they reassured me that they thought it was the neighbor. They have a friend who comes and waters their plants, apparently, and since they were going to a different country, they were having this person come in and water their plants. And I took solace in that it was just their friend, and it did make me feel a little better, but at the same time I was still scared because it's like, you know, I don't know this person and they were in here, and what if I was in here, I don't know, showering or in a vulnerable state. So yeah, that was my real life horror story. I don't wish that upon anyone because it sounds very mild. It sounds like it wasn't even that frightening, but trust me, when you're in that situation, you feel so scared, and you wish that you had like your mom or your best friend or your brother, whatever, whoever sibling with you to at least give you that comfort. But to be alone in something like that is very scary. And last but not least, if you're wondering what happened to my painting, why does she have it if she lost it? Well, I was smart about it, and I Instagram DM'd the owner of the matcha ice cream place, and I was like, hey, I'm the girl who got the second to last ice cream. I'm pretty sure I left pretty sure I left my painting in there. Can you please check, and can you please save it? If so, I will be there first thing in the morning. And he responded, and he said, yes, I have it. It's here. Don't worry. I tried to follow you, but you were gone, and I'll be here in the morning. Yeah. That's my story. I hope that you enjoyed it, and I am going to be making more storytime videos because I've had many things crazy like this and other stuff happen to me, so I would love to share that. Yeah, and that'll give me something to do. So yeah, I'll see you in my next video, hopefully. Please subscribe if you enjoyed this video, and also if you just enjoy anything about like travel or a story, a good story, or cinematic style videos, because that's kind of what I do. Yeah. Check out my channel. Follow me on Instagram if you so wish to see more. And yeah, bye.